I love that reality you live in. It must be wonderful to be in your head.
It is.
I think so.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lions Pride Tavern podcast number 94, 6 more to 100. Tonight we find out how we did in this weekend's alternate raid of Antorus the Burning Throne. But before all that, let's start off with introductions. I'm your host, Stafford. I play a Dwarven Beastmaster Hunter in the awesome game World of Warcraft. Next up, we have Dizzy.
Hi, I'm Dizzy. I play a human Beastmaster Hunter.
And Lorelei.
Hello, it's Lorelei, your Night Elf Arms Warrior.
No Fury today, huh?
Yeah, I didn't do Fury this week, so I'm not going to count it.
And Epistle.
I'm Epistle. I play a Draenei Protection Pally ×2.
And Ant.
Hi, I'm Ant, your Night Elf Mistweaver Monk.
How is everybody this week?
Not
Hot.
bad.
Good.
Hot?
Starting holidays.
It is hot.
So very
We're
good.
in a heat wave.
Yeah, I got
good.
like 65 here this week, and so I'm just dying.
My God. It's like 90
we're just at the
degrees
end of
over
a
90.
heat wave. Nice and cool here now.
It was 96 today with like 96% humidity.
That sounds like fun. Yeah.
Ooh.
Not the fun I want, but...
Not at all.
So did anybody do anything exciting? Because, well, we got the 4th of July coming up this week. Actually,
and
tomorrow after
happy
the podcast.
Happy Canada Day, the day we're doing the podcast.
Ooh, happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens on Happy Canada Day?
Well, on Canada Day, we, celebrate our country like you would on the 4th of July.
Was it that was like your Independence Day? I know nothing about Canada.
Oh, we ain't independent. No, we're still part of the Commonwealth. You guys broke from the British. We didn't bother. And, I think we turned out fine.
Seriously, you're still under Queen's Law?
More or less. We're more complicated because, domestic Canadian political lesson here. We actually incorporated part of the French law because of Quebec and the history of Quebec involvement in Canada. So we have both British common law and French law as part of our statutes. Even our Supreme Court incorporates both pieces, but we like to think we're better for it.
Well, I think you are. All I know
Maybe
is you've always been north of me.
Maybe we can beg the Queen to take us back.
Yeah, you might have a few issues with a couple of commoners that she has some issues with.
Hey, it's the Queen. She can just walk in here
no,
and smack him around.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. So did anybody do anything fun?
I saw
Just went
Incredibles
to
2.
brunch instead of a movie. That's
I'm
it.
sorry, I didn't hear you.
I saw Incredibles 2.
Ooh, did you like it?
It was very good.
It was funny.
We were going to go see the new Jurassic, but my daughter's got an ear infection. Well, she had an ear infection in one ear, and then it moved to the other ear, and it cleared up in the one that she started with, but she's still trying to get rid of it in there, so we weren't going to let her go.
Sounds like you should leave her at home and go watch The Incredibles.
I think she would probably try to kick my butt if I went to The Incredibles without her, because that's one of her dad-daughter movies that we like to watch together.
Well, you don't have to tell her.
They
And then you
always
get to
find
see it
out.
a second time.
Are you saying lie to your kids? Is that what you're saying? Dizzy?
What? You mean you never lied to your kids?
I mean, of course that's what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
say that.
You lie about like whether Santa Claus is real or not.
Kids, everything will be okay.
You'll understand when you grow up.
Is that what's supposed to happen? That's why I've never understood.
That's
I
the
guess.
biggest lie ever, and I'm I'm still learning how to adult.
Hey, you could be
no.
anything you want
Why?
when you grow up.
That's
I guess
true.
that means I have to grow up.
Well, he did say when you grow up. It doesn't mean you have to grow up. Because you can ask my wife. She knows I haven't grown up.
But we
None
don't
of us
have to ask
We're
your
still
wife.
playing games on the computer.
That's right.
Speak for yourself. I spent all day on my motorcycle. I just got home.
Where'd you go?
Oh.
I drove up Bear Canyon, and then I went over to Trail Creek, and then I went over to Livingston and Fluke Heights, and then I came back. I took the long route through. Oh, what's the name of that town?
North of
Clyde
Livingston?
Park.
Clyde Park. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I screwed around the Story Mill area for a while, and then I came home.
Now, your daughter's not at camp still, is she?
No, she slept till like noon, and then texted me if like she was hungry, and I texted her back to eat something, and then I kept writing.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And I got home at about 4 o'clock, and the house had not burned down, so I think we're good. And then I took her to the pet shop and got her a new fish.
Nice. What kind of fish?
A very blue beta.
See, my daughter had a beta, and I don't know.
What happened to the last one?
I think that was geared at you, Dizzy.
I don't know what happened to your daughter's beta.
Oh, and I thought you got her another fish. A second beta. Yeah, my daughter's beta just, I don't know. It just died. So, met the porcelain god.
No.
No, it was, the fish was the upkeep to a dog. So she had to prove that she could take care of a fish before she could get a dog, which she did. I think it just, was just the fish's time. So, well, yeah.
On that depressing note,
Yeah. Let's tell all of our dead fish stories.
moment of silence for the lost betas.
Right. Yeah, I didn't do anything exciting either. We played D&D Sunday campaign, so we just got done with that, and our friends just left. So.
Ooh, I just started holidays for summer.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
Right.
thank you. No brain left, but, I'll do what I can.
Sorry, I don't remember what day it is either.
You got to gear up those brain cells over the summer so you can go back to school.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, let's get rolling. So, Dizzy, why don't you tell us what we did this weekend?
Well, we raided Antorus. And after the past couple of weeks of beating our heads against the ground, a decision was made, and we ran it on alts, primarily. I think we had 2 or 3 mains in there, but everybody else was on a different alt. I was on my Warlock, and I was melting people's brains, and it was awesome. And on the first night, we got up through Portal Keeper. And then on the second night, we got all the way up to Argus minus Coven, because we always skip that. And then by the end of raid, we had everything except for Argus down, and then most of the raid stuck around, and we went an extra hour and got Argus down again.
That was good. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
It didn't get the trinket though, but
It was a fun raid.
it was fun.
All the banter was back, and everybody was just having fun. Oh,
It was.
And we did it on normal, not heroic, so everybody knew the fights, but because we were all on alts, it was still kind of difficult.
Yes, that's what I was going to point out, that we were still on normal, and it was like, yeah, we were still having issues. Well, to get through Argus, though, we did make a couple of changes. We brought in some heavy hitters, and
Yes.
boy, did it go smooth after that.
It did help. It was worth doing it for everyone's benefit then.
Yeah. Yep. We had some healing issues, but
Yeah, Stafford. Tell us
Tell us
about those healing issues,
Yeah.
Stafford.
I would love to hear this about healing.
well, no, it wasn't my issues. We just only had 4. We should have had 5.
We had
Don't
five.
start that.
Well, we.
I know all of our healers decided where. Well, no, that was our DPS. Never mind. Wrong conversation.
I was going to say, we did have that conversation at the very beginning of the first boss where, and I was kidding, where I was like, oh yeah, I'm not DPSing, I'm healing. And everybody just was like, oh no, we're in so much trouble.
Well, it didn't help when you said, I don't know which button to push. It's like, oh no, do I have enough bandages?
Where's my
Do I-
skin?
Do I have cooldowns? What do you mean?
I did get yelled at though, so I
Yeah.
ended the fight and
We need
someone
an
yelled at me.
external. We need a B-res. Stafford.
What's an external?
I
heard
never
that.
said that.
I heard it.
No.
We heard it in your brain.
Well, it's been a long time since I've done any raiding with my druid. So thank God Tap was there the first night to encourage me on to keep hitting those hots. So I'm more used to playing my priest, and I don't like overhealing. So I was talking with Tarog after the first night, and after I got called out for not having enough mana, or I actually had too much mana left at the end of the fight.
Yeah, overhealing's not a thing anymore.
Right. And
Unless
that's
you're
what he
out
told
of
me.
mana.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He says, no, you gotta understand. That's all you're supposed to do is overheal. I'm like,
Especially as a
'cause-
druid.
yeah, well, I mean, it's been over a year since I even tried to heal in a raid because I've always played my hunter. So it was fun. I think everybody had fun because everybody kind of switched up what they were doing, except Epistle. He still played a Ternai protection paladin.
I'm
No,
so
he was
flexible.
a dwarf.
Yeah, I was a dwarf for
Oh,
a while. Lots of
he was
a
lots of
little bitty
attitude.
one.
Was that the it was a dwarf protection paladin that was named Epistle too?
It's true. Yes, I've got 2 versions of them. A big one and a little bitty one.
Yeah. So I think it was fun. I think it was the break I think everybody needed. It was really lighthearted. Everybody was playing a different type of character. So it was fun to listen to, like the hunters not knowing what to do versus the healers knowing what they had to do. Or not knowing.
I actually hated DPSing.
The regular healers who were DPSing, that was hilarious. I
Yes.
am never going to DPS again.
Well, you know this now, is that me, Faye, and Tap are all staying heals next expansion, so you have 3 healers right off the bat already.
Well, I recall hearing a certain hunter say something
Yes,
about
I came to a realization in this raid. I was on the fence about switching off of my hunter to become a warlock for the next expansion. And I'm no longer on the fence. I'm staying as a hunter.
Ah.
Yeah, really.
Now,
How
see,
come?
I might actually, depending on the way things go, switch over to my Ret Pally.
No, I can tell you exactly why. I really enjoyed my warlock. It was fun. But I enjoy the mobility of a hunter way more.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you. 'cause
The
it was
ability to run around was very important to me.
the same with the druid. I'm standing there. I'm like, it's no wonder Tap keeps standing in the crap. You have to cast your damn spells.
Yes, but remember what I said, is that you dead isn't going to help, so just move. Don't worry about healing somebody.
Very true. Very
Running around. I'm trying to imagine that in playing Warcraft.
true. Yeah, right.
Well, as
Yeah,
a
instead
DM
of
hunter,
dart
I can
here,
do all
run
of
to
my
there.
abilities on the run. And
Oh, nice.
I got used to it.
Whereas I just go A to B to A to B to A to B, or A rotate, 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 or A B C D.
Well, also, you don't have to reach the boss. You can be like, hey, boss, come here, come to me, and they generally do.
Yeah, they generally do. Out of taunt range, though, things get really weird
Now I have to say though
for
that
everyone.
we did on the alt. If you guys watch our live stream, you'll have known this. But if you don't, we did all of the bosses in 2 days except for Coven. Those are the only ones the only one we didn't do.
And that
Was that just a timing issue?
Well, not really, because we could have done Coven, but there was like no point in it because Argus was a better down. Vermathras and Argus was a better down than going to, get Coven. I mean, I'm sure there's people that need the gear off Coven, but normal's not that bad. We could have went through it, but I think everybody wanted to get Argus down on these alts. Although, did anybody, and I have to look because I don't remember seeing it pop up when we got Argus down. Are they still giving out the tokens for making the bonuses on the Legion or Legendaries?
Yes, I got one.
I didn't
They
get
s-
one.
They sell for 1 copper.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to go back and look and see where it's at in my bag because I don't recall getting one, but I probably did. Or do you have to? You don't have to have all. No, because you also get 4. You have to get 4 of the things to unlock it, to be able to skip right up to the boss. And I don't recall if I got one of those either. So, but they got to still be going on, right?
I got one of those. I did notice
Okay.
that.
Oh, I'll
'Cause I
have
did-
to check that.
I
I
did
got one.
grab the quest because the quest was available when I first walked in. I was like, oh, look, quest.
But that token was off of Vermathras, I believe.
Oh, well, whoever it's off of, yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It was Vermathras, but
Normal. Vermathras is still a pain for tanks.
yeah. Yeah, because that
As
was the
you-
only one we didn't one-shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, as you may have heard a few times when he squished us.
Did we one-shot
No,
Portal Keeper?
We did not one-shot. I was just going to say, Portal
No, I
Keeper
didn't
was
think
the
so. I
other one.
think because we started Portal Keeper on Saturday too.
Yeah.
Well, that was one when I had to switch to heals because we had lacked.
No, we did Portal Keeper on Friday, but it was 2 pulls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't do it on Saturday.
but I had to switch. We wiped because of the first. There was too much damage going out, and I switched back to the heals.
Right, and we didn't have enough interrupts either, did we?
Oh, who was
I don't-
tanking on
Not sure.
Friday?
It was Donna.
Yeah.
She was on her monk.
Ah, great.
Which Durag said, yeah, a monk tank just doesn't quite do it. She had some issues
But they
trying
can
to get
they can
aggro
roll
from it.
everywhere. Oh, that was too bad.
Yeah. Because Durag's like, how do I still have aggro? After she'd already taunted.
Friday was funny because it was like all of a sudden a lot of people had forgotten what the mechanics of the fight were and everybody's running around.
Well,
I think people thought they could handle it a lot easier on their alts, and it's just like, no, this is still a fight.
Was it really though the fact that everybody forgot it, or was it that the healers are now playing DPS and they're not doing the same dance steps as people who do DPS?
On the first fight, people were stacking when they shouldn't and then running out when they shouldn't, and it was just kind of funny.
I'm guilty.
I know when I play arranged, I have a hard time because I tend to run into and stand in melee because that's where I'm used to standing.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I have to be careful. I run right up there and start trying to hit it, and it doesn't work that way.
It wasn't too big of a push for me as a DPS change into a healer, except for I don't normally watch the screen as far as how everybody's health is doing. And Boy, that's a really it's a real big distraction. You almost have to focus in on the people versus what's going on in the fight. That's why I said it was tough because druids just don't have that mobility.
And that's why tap stands and stuff.
Yes, that's why I said. Now I know why.
That's funny. I when I play my druid, I feel like that's the most mobile healer I've ever played.
Yeah, I agree with the pistol there.
Well, of the healers, yeah, probably. Of course, I don't know. How's the Mistweaver for mobility?
I mean, I can cast a good amount of my heals on the run, but my heals are really fast, so I can cast a spell quick enough to go. I mean, my big AoE, I can just run with it and just heal at the same time, so it's nice. I don't have to stand still.
So yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. It was a lot of fun. I know that.
It was. I enjoyed it.
The most fun I've had in a couple weeks, to be honest.
That was kind of some of the whispers I got was, now that was fun. It just, the last couple weeks have been kind of stressful.
Bashing our head against, we've got to get this done.
So we'll see. I mean, the biggest reason why we went to the alts was because we did not get a lockout for Argus. So I just decided right off the bat when we knew we didn't have the Argus lockout that, all right, everybody switched. So we started raid a little later, but we did stay a little longer. That was definitely, we did that on Saturday. Friday, we pretty much quit right on time, but that was the reason anyway.
And I feel like going forward with, 5 weeks left in the expansion, it's probably better to just do alts and have fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same way. So what do you guys think? Epistle?
I would agree. I wouldn't mind another crack at it, but I maybe this isn't the right group to try to do that. So I might try a pickup group somewhere, or maybe a few of us might find something a group we might want to join to try that. It's just trying to set it up for ourselves. We're probably not in the right spot for that.
Yeah. How about Lorelei?
Oh, I still need it. So, I mean, I'd like to get it done. I'd prefer to do it with the guild, but I mean, if I have to, I'll find like Pistol something else or some other group to run with.
Or we could do that together.
Yeah, we just have to get a little group together and sign up for one of those things and see what happens.
I mean, I'm more than happy to keep trying for the people that need it.
Well, it's just, I mean, you got to think about what's been happening, and it's just, there are people that want it. I do agree with Lorelei and Epistle there. But some of the people that have already got it, some of our heavier hitters, are not coming back to help out. So it's making it harder and harder to get it down. So, yeah, might be the way to go is to, maybe we'll throw it up on the guild calendar and just say, hey, do you guys want to try this on Wednesday or something to get a really high-hitting group together and hit Argus. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting it down again because I haven't gotten in the loot off Argus. So I would love to get the loot, but I don't want to bang my head against the wall for 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I might actually see if Four and Mirama, if they're still doing it with their guild. Maybe I can jump in there one night.
Oh, I'm sure they'd let you, provided they had the room. Ant, what do you think?
I mean, I would definitely go and help some of the other people that do need it as well. I mean, getting a smaller group too might be a little bit more beneficial because the bigger the group, the harder it tends to be. But in terms of, running alts and everything like that, I mean, I'm definitely, interested in doing that. But I'm going to heal, I'm not DPSing. I'll make another healer and bring that, so I don't have to bring my monk, but I'm not DPSing.
You just don't like that DPS, huh?
Nope, not
It's
at all.
not that bad, Ant.
I just felt as though I was not doing the things that I should have been doing, whereas I tended to I actually tried to heal on my Demon Hunter, to be honest with you.
All right, guys, let's talk a little bit, because I don't think anybody really wants to hear about our alt run, even though it was really fun, and you can go see it on our YouTube page and watch the live stream if you want. But we decided we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming expansion. Now, one of the things that I learned, and I'm sure people who've logged in have learned, is what we've termed breaking your weapon, your legendary weapon. So there's a quest line that you can do, and we'll let Lorelei talk about that quest line. It's not really difficult to do. You get it right off the bat when you first log in. So if you got it and just accepted it and haven't done it, it's definitely something you want to do. And we'll just talk about what it does for us. Lorelei?
Well, on one of my other tunes that hadn't killed Argus yet, I had to go talk to Matthias Shaw over in Stormwind, and then they played the little cutscene where Anduin is talking to the crowd, and then you get sent to go talk to somebody else, and then you have to go to Silithus. And God, I wish they would open up that flight path. That would be so lovely. But you go to Silithus, and there's a new bunch of quests that you can do. And you have to go get some ore, and you have to go kill some spiders. And when you finish, I think it's about 5 quests, you come back and you go up and you talk to a dwarf who's on a sky plane going around the top.
dwarf.
The what?
That's Magni Bronzebeard. He was the king of the
He's a
dwarves for like
dwarf.
Yeah,
4
some dwarf guy.
expansions.
He's a high
It's
level
Magni.
dwarf. Oh, there's so many of them running around. It's like, okay, it's another dwarf. And and he's flying around the top of the sword, and you hold your sword up high and you suck all this energy out, because if not, this energy is just going to blow up the world. And suddenly things are okay for a while, and then your weapon changes. And I noticed at the beginning, when you open up your weapons page, your artifact page, it's all sparkly and glittery and glowy, and things are, it's like little fireworks, and it's going crazy. And all of a sudden, you now have a weapon that's at 127, I think we all agreed.
Yep.
And it goes up, its level is going up, its concordance is going up every day, so it's about 77 right now. I think you had to go talk to somebody in the bathroom in the outhouse. They did
That's
another little
what I did.
outhouse. There's always an outhouse quest somewhere. So that was like, oh, look, they didn't forget.
And it's actually really funny because you go collect the things you need for it and you turn it in. And it was funny because my wife had done it on a couple of tunes before. And then she's taken me out there, and I always just, she has a double ride mount, so I just get on her mount. She stops and she picks up this quest. We go do it, bring it back. And as she turns hers in, she has to wait for me to turn mine in. And as I was turning mine in, the little guy comes running out of the outhouse on fire, runs around the outhouse like
Yeah.
3 or 4 times. And she's like, oh my God, I never saw that happen before.
I didn't. The first couple times I did it, I didn't see it either, because I just turned it in and left. Like,
So
oh,
you're
wow.
one of those also. She doesn't read any of the quest information.
I don't.
She doesn't watch the cutscenes. I mean, she just skips everything.
I watch a cutscene once, maybe twice, and then I'm like, done. I'm done with it.
Yep, I'm that way. I'll watch it the first time. Unless I get interrupted, then I got to watch it a second time so I don't miss anything. But I like the cutscenes. I mean, they go through a lot of work on those cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
And the Matthias Shaw one was pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed with Anduin there and his little spiel, his speech.
Yeah, I keep waiting for them to do something
See,
with him.
you
and like,
call him
it's a
Anduin,
big
but you
thing.
don't know Magni.
No, because he's a dwarf.
He's just a human.
Yeah,
Anduin's
but
just
don't
a
you remember in
human.
Pandaria, you could paint a picture of him, and it's like, oh, I could paint a picture of my soon-to-be king.
But Magni was the king of the dwarves for like 3 expansions, and then he got turned into crystal.
And
for
I
2
didn't
expansions.
understand that. I'm like, okay, why
No,
is
I
he a
was
crystal dwarf?
I thought he was dead, and that was just the ghost of him there. So
Yeah, because there's like, what, 5 of them running around? And there's a couple out in Northrend.
And I'm a Dwarven Beastmaster Hunter.
I have a dwarf, too.
And you don't even know your true king.
Nope.
I made a female dwarf so I could stand in Dalaran when whatever that world event is where you have to do something to one of every race, male
Isn't
and
that,
female. And I could
Valentine's
never
Day?
find a female
Valentine's.
dwarf. And so I said, I am going to make a female dwarf and stand in Dalaran to help everybody in Azeroth out.
Yeah, no, I never followed the dwarf or the elven quest lines because every time I'd start a new tune, I'd immediately get them to Stormwind by any means necessary and do the starting quest in Stormwind. I really liked those, especially because at the very beginning you had Hogger, and then you go down into Westwood.
Westfall.
Westfall and go through the. I just loved it. You go through this big cave system, you get all the way down there, and here's a big ship. You know, it reminded me of the movie Goonies.
Oh
That's what it reminded me of.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'll bet that's what it was based on too.
I could very well be. But you know, then you see, you know, the chef, you know, and it's just, and then when they changed it with the next expansion, it turns out to be the daughter that took over the same area, you know. So it was very interesting the way they did it. But all of my tunes, whether I made Draenei or a night elf, whatever, it didn't make any difference, or a dwarf or a goblin, or I guess not a goblin, one of those little guys, gnomes. I could not stand Nomorogan. I don't like that place at all. I would always take them over to Stormwind and run through those beginning quest lines.
You know what? I had well, I still have a gnome and I ran her through. But when I got over to Karanos and I found out that the gnome mount was a mechanical chicken, I said no. I drove my friends crazy because I refused to buy the mechanical chicken. So I went to Stormwind and I did every single quest I could until I could buy a horse. I ran all the way across up toward Arathi Basin. I was still running. What's next to Arathi? Hillsbrad. I ran all through Hillsbrad on my little gnome because I refused to buy that chicken.
Aww.
And
I
you know
thought-
what? It
I
killed
love
me
that
because I
chicken.
wanted the Palomino horse. I was all
Oh,
about
yeah.
that. And then I'm like, where can I buy this? I am running to every They took it out of the game. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, you did not. You took it out. But they better be selling one in the expansion because they have them.
Ooh, really?
Yes, they do. And they're beautiful. So my first mount on my gnome was the Black Stallion. And I rode that thing everywhere. But I did break down and buy the chickens later. But I never ride them.
Well, we kind of got off topic there. We were talking about what we were going to, you know, breaking our weapon is what we've been calling it now, is breaking your weapon. So of the 3 110 tunes that I have, I've broken all 3, and it's going to be interesting to see how those play out. But let's talk about the new expansion. Does anybody want to bring up a topic and talk about it that they know that's going to happen? How about Dizzy? What's the favorite thing that you're going to look forward to in the new expansion?
I really like the Kulturas humans. Their models are amazing. I was in the alpha and then in the beta, but I actually purposely avoided almost all of the questing and everything because I didn't want to spoil it and burn out before the expansion. But I really like Kulturas and the look of everything there in the city and the humans, and it's cool.
Epistle?
I think I was saying I'd also played got in for the alpha, played beta, and decided I guess I had a feeling of I didn't want to do anything that I couldn't carry forward, so I didn't want to do a lot of work. I tried one dungeon or two and enjoyed that, but I think that's probably what I'm most looking forward to: new dungeons, new raids. But I like that moment of walking in and not knowing the dungeon or the setup. And figuring it out as you go. So I'm kind of just waiting for that.
And?
I think I'm more looking forward to just how they're trying to level out the classes so that way they're all equal, but it also depends on how you play it as to whether or not, you know, your DPS will be the highest. I think that, you know, having that balance is something that I'm looking forward to.
Let's talk about what to do before the Battle of Azeroth comes out. What are the things that you've done or you haven't done? And we'll start off with Lorelei.
Well, I am working on the first aid achievement because you're not going to be able to get that. And the problem is just having those letters, those crumpled letters or the fevered letters show up is random. And you have to kind of be in the right place at the right time for it to pop up. And I think I have about 3 or 4 left on Lorelei, and I can't get them to pop up. So I'm desperately trying, but I'm kind of a little upset about Bliss about why they would set up an achievement like that that's going to end that you cannot necessarily go out and find it to work on it. So I'm trying to do that one, and I'm trying to do the fishing ones as well.
Especially when it relies on luck, right, and
Yeah,
chance.
just random chance. Yeah, there are things that say, well, you can go out here and kill a lot of murlocs, but I don't really want to sit there and kill murlocs for 3 or 4 hours just hoping that this will, pop up.
Yeah, I'm
Busy?
with you on the fishing one. Oh, I will
No,
jump in
go
there,
ahead.
let's say.
Go ahead.
No, can I? Okay,
Jump in, yeah.
The fishing one, definitely. I want to get wrap up with all the fishing vendors because I kind of love to hate fishing, but it's something I do when I have time, and it feels very much like a vacation thing. So, hey, I don't like real world fishing, so may as well do virtual fishing. The other thing, too, is I've been looking at a number of achievements and realizing there's a few things I definitely want to be doing. For example, I haven't got my Lightbringer achievement yet. I'm realizing I'm only a couple bosses short of that. So there's a few titles of a few achievements I want to clean up and make sure I have. Not really so much appearances. I think I'm feeling pretty good about that. So mostly feeling like I've got Legion tied up to my liking.
Dizzy?
Gold. I've been cleaning out my stocks of old materials to sell and prepare. I've been stocking a couple of things to sell during the next expansion, during the launch, that should make some gold right off the bat.
Stuff that
That's
won't
about
be
it.
available for BFA?
Stuff to help with leveling, things that help you go faster,
Okay.
potions, flasks, that kinds of things.
Yep.
Consumable type stuff.
I got you. Yeah, that's a good idea. I bet you a lot of people will be doing that too. So hopefully that'll drive the prices of those down. So what is it? What level do we get to go to? Does anybody know right off the top of their head?
120.
So we
Yep.
got to do another 10
Another
levels.
10.
So Ant, what about you? Stuff to do before the launch?
I'm currently working on gearing out all my alts and trying to get the mage tower.
Yeah, the Mage Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need to do that too.
No, I try it once in a while, and then I'm just like, you know what? I don't really care about my weapon appearances that much.
So what are they saying about the artifact appearances, the weapon appearances? That it looks like the Mage Tower, once it goes down, you'll be able to go back and get all the rest of them except the Mage Tower one, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll still be able to get the ones if you go to your class hall and you click on the thingamajig and open up that tab with all the appearances. You'll be able to get those.
Right. But you will not be able to get the Mage Tower one once the expansion launches.
Nope. And to
So-
me, I looked up the warrior ones. They look just like the ones that you can get in your class hall. And I have one set and I never use any of the other ones. So I'm not sure if for me, it's not worth all that much.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, a lot of it looks like what I've seen in the past write-ups is there's a lot of mounts that you won't be able to get. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. So,
The Argus mount? Nope.
Yep.
There's a PvP mount. Oh well.
A what?
A PvP mount. Yeah.
That's
One of those weird things. What's it? What is this one? If you get Glory of the Legion Hero, you can get the Reigns of the Lay Feather Hippogriff. Ooh, that one looks cool.
So, do you guys? I'm sure they're going to still do the Legion invasions, aren't they?
Yeah, they say you're going to be able to get that one. It's just going to be harder to probably find a group for it.
Okay, yeah, because everybody's moving on. But I was going to say they got to still have some sort of mechanic to the people that have not done it to back up and bring a character up. I would think anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, so mounts definitely you won't get Gul'dan or Argus if you don't get them done before the launch, because that goes away for the mythic anyway.
Yeah.
I'm talking the fiendish Hellfire Core and shackled Soule. which I really like, but I'm never going to get it because, yeah, there's no way we're doing Mythic.
Oh, we got to put it on there just for the first fight just to see what it does.
Well, the thing is, you got to have 20 people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got to be right at 20. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it just once, even just do like the first boss and see how it goes. But we might put that up on the guild calendar and just let somebody sign up for it, because we're going to have exactly 20 to do it. But I think that would be interesting, just to say I did a Mythic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On purpose and not on by
Right,
accident.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
That was still funny. Still funny.
So then, what is there? Isn't there some like $1 million mount coming out?
Oh, isn't it a $5 million mount?
Is that
The
what it is?
dinosaur? Yeah, the dinosaur is $5 million. And there's a pet that will be worth, you have to pay $1 million, but you don't really lose your $1 million. You just have to have it. So that should be easy. I just have to pile all my gold onto one tune and then split it up again. But yeah, the $5 million you're going to need for the dinosaur.
And what this dinosaur, was it like super special, leaps, towers in a single bound?
It
Something
should.
like that?
It has an auctioneer on the back of it.
That ain't
Ah,
an
that's cool.
auctioneer ain't worth 5
Yeah,
million gold. I
Speak for
don't know,
yourself.
Dizzy, is it? I mean, would you pay 5 million to have a mount with an auction house on it?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I can go park myself in, say, Desolus or somewhere where there's an inn and a mailbox away from everybody else, where I don't have to worry about loading and like busy people being around and stuff.
So, would it work like the one in the auction that you can get on your
Oh, in the
Yeah,
garrison.
in the
the
garrison?
idea.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I had that, and that was actually very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
was.
the
I
idea.
agree.
Is I could park in like a garrison and just have an auction house and everything. Because the auction house in your garrison is crazy hard to get now because nobody's doing the PvP stuff.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I had to buy that piece because I tried the PvP and could never get to the end of it.
Okay. Well, I can see that. That's definitely an advantage, but I still don't think it's worth 5 million gold.
That's a huge investment.
But
huge.
you know what I thought was going to be so bad about that mount? Can you see that mount being parked in a major city on top of the mailboxes?
Yes, I can.
Oh, that is going to be so annoying.
So we'll all have to bow when we go buy it because we know what he spent on it.
No, you know
No,
what you do?
yeah,
You go to
people will do
Northrend
that.
and get baby spice. And then he's sitting on a little itty bitty dragon. Or a dinosaur.
I
have
actually
done
like
that.
it more for the fact that it's a giant dinosaur than the auction house on it.
Yes, that is true.
You're going to name him Thok.
Ooh, bad memories.
Who?
Oh, I know, right? It just
Thok.
trigger everybody's just angry response right there. Thok.
Yes, constantly being feared down the hallway and one time after another.
All right, so we're going to really quick before we go on our minutes. I'm going to spring this one on you. So I want instantaneous thought. We'll start off with Dizzy because I always used to do this to JoBui and he loved it. The worst boss you've ever dealt with in any raid ever. Go.
Morose.
Why's that?
At the time when it was current, it was the team working together properly fight, and when I was doing it, I wasn't really in a raid team at that point, so I was pugging it, and nobody could do it right.
Okay, fair enough. Lorelei?
I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was in Firelands. It was the big bird, fiery bird. And the reason I hated that one, it took me forever to figure out how to navigate the tornadoes, the fire tornadoes. And I actually had our raid leader at the time would get a little frustrated with me, and they would all stop and then walk me around how to run and turn. And it'd be like, go ahead, embarrassment. I don't care. I will get this, and you know I'll get it. But it just takes me a while to figure out how to get into the path. Once I got into the path, I was fine, but I would always die getting it. So I hated that boss.
Fair enough. Epistle?
Oh, who was that boss? Was the top of Karazhan? Is it Mel Cesar? Yeah, that last boss. So many times we had a group that was able to get to him, but not get him down. Drove me crazy.
All right, yeah, that's good. Ant?
I have to say Blood Queen Lanathil from Lich King. Because I hated that stupid, like, it's almost like the necrotic embrace where it infects you and just kills everybody if you don't spread out or move close. And
Huh, okay, well, it's interesting. I like to throw that out every once in a while because it always seems to change when we get new expansions, but none of you mentioned any of the new expansion stuff. So, well, newest expansion. So.
No, I think I like all the bosses in this one. It's some of the mechanics. Like on Heroic Argus, out of all the things that we have to do, the one mechanic that I cannot stand are those black lines. Especially when we go into the next phase 2, and we're fighting the boss, and then you've got those lines crisscrossing, because they just seem to crisscross right through melee all the time.
Yeah, I can see where that would get frustrating. I've always wondered how melee dealt with that.
It's
Because
pain.
it's bad enough for range.
You run. You either end up too close to the boss, which I get clipped a lot, or you end up having to go stand in the middle and just wait. And every time I can, I just throw my weapon at it. But like with my paladin, I couldn't do anything but stand there. And I'm like, oh, that's wasted DPS right there.
All right, cool. Very nice. All right, let's move on. Lorelei, it's time for your pet battle minute.
Hello, pet lovers. Today I'd like to tell you about one of the sites that I use. It's called warcraftpets.com, and if you're serious about collecting pets, this is the site for you. There's a lot to this site, but the great thing is that it lets you manage your collection in one easy place. First, you need to set up a free account to access your collection, and once you log in, there is a lot to see. It'll tell you the latest news about pets, new pets, events coming out. It'll have guides for achievements, for monthly events. In fact, if you go on now, you can see that it'll give you all the pets available for the Dark Moon Fair and for the Hallows Eve when those come up. But the neat thing about it is a section that you'll see over on the right called My Pet Collection. And you click on Manage Your Pets, and it will take you to a window, and you will see everything you need to know about your pets. Now, it's very important that you update this maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how active you are. And then you have to re-import your pets, and there'll be some little things you can click on to do that. But what this will tell you is it will tell you the number of pets you have that are unique. And those are the pets that you can battle with. It tells you how many you have that are max level. Like right now, I have 827 unique pets, and only 668 of them are at max level. So I've still got a ways to go. It'll tell you how many duplicates you have. So if you just want to clean out your stable, that's a good thing. It'll tell you if your pets are all at rare, or if you need to go back and buy some more tokens. It will also give you your realm and rankings, which just let you know how well you're doing. And on Dragonblight, I'm number 22.
Not bad.
So, yeah, no, not bad. Theo's ahead of me at number 15, but, hey, he's been doing it a little bit longer than I have. And you can get all of your pets to show up, and it's just got a lot for you to see. So if you are interested in pet battling, this is a place to go to, and you can find out information about any of your pets, or where to find new pets, or if it's something you have to wait around for, an event pet like rain. If it's raining off the coast of Booty Bay, there's a gorilla you can only get when it's raining on that island. So keep getting your pet tokens, because remember, when the expansion comes out, you won't be able to use the current pet charms to buy things. Our pet charms are going to change, so spend them now while you got them. And that's your pet minute for today.
827 unique pets.
No,
now that's the ones I can battle with. I have others that are non-bat, like your balloon and your squire. Yeah,
I
don't have
a little over
900 yet.
total.
I think
So-
I have a pet problem.
The part that I liked was the smugness of her going, but I only have 600 plus tunes that are max level.
I know. I thought I had more, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to get to work on it. But I have
Lorelei,
several
I have
hundred
Clearly.
charms, so.
I have six that are max level.
Oh well.
That are
get
level
those
25?
charms now because get them now because they're 45. They're going to be a lot. They're going to be 60 in August, so it's going to be more work to get them.
I think we need to get her to AA.
I have
Hey, I've got
16.
to get to 900 and something pets because there will be an achievement that I want as soon as I log in that day.
I've got 16 level 25 pets, but to be honest, I farmed it out to my kids.
There you go.
I have none.
I have none.
Oh, I'll
Nice.
send you some pets. I've got my bank tune has a bunch of them. Well, a few of them now and then, but
I have 74, but none are at 25.
my
Well,
gosh,
see-
do you do the world quest?
Nope.
Oh my god.
See, now you could have got the tokens in the last expansion that gave you a level 25 pet. You had to swim down into the little cave in the water by your garrison there. Yeah, I did that on all mine.
That was a freebie.
Yeah, that's how I have 6.
But it's so well now. See, I do it on all my tunes. I don't do the Dalaran one all the time. If it's resources, I don't always do it, but I'll do it now for the tokens because you can get a good amount of tokens. And if I'm doing it on 5 tunes every day, so I'm working on Family Familiar now, and that's kind of driving me crazy because you've got to get every tamer in the achievement done with every pet family. And there's one of my tunes has not quite gotten far enough in Suramar to get the quest counted. So I went out and did it on one of my tunes, and I didn't get credit for it. I'm like, oh, that was a waste of a tune to do it on.
Well, all I got to say is, Blizzard, I know you listen to our podcast, so there must be a achievement that Lorelei can get called Pet Battle Master.
Pet Battle Addict.
PBA. Nice. All right, so next up we have...
Want to sell my blue axe? It's got a sweet glow. Only 10G. It's not real big, but OMFG, what's this? Some Russians are spamming the trade channel, bam, bam.
Dizzy's Unleashing the Inner Goblin, TSM. Trade Skill Master is primarily an auction house add-on. It does quite a bit outside of the auction house, but most of its functionality is for streamlining the process of gold making. It helps you manage mail between alts, post a lot of things quickly, get accurate pricing of almost everything, maximize profit from crafting, flip items on the auction house for gold, and keep track of how much you have made or lost on a daily, weekly, monthly, or forever basis. There's a lot that it does, and you could probably throw in a kitchen sink as well. The gist of it is that once you learn this add-on, your gold making efforts will be an order of magnitude easier. I am posting thousands of auctions every day, and if I had to do it one at a time, I would definitely lose my mind. This add-on lets me do it with a scroll of my mouse wheel, as it uses a program running on your desktop to query the Blizzard Auction House API to get the most up-to-date pricing at all times. I then plug in some pricing rules, and then the add-on prices everything automatically based on the current AH data and my rules. I can then scan my auctions to see if somebody has undercut me, cancel those auctions and repost them. I have mailbox rules that allow me to use a mailbox and send all my lock boxes to my rogue to lockpick them, all my transmog items to my posting tune, mats to my bank tune, excess gold to my banker, and on and on. I won't try to tell you how to use TSM as we don't have all night, and I definitely don't have the patience, but I will steer you towards a few sources. Hazelnutty Games has some very beginner-centric tutorials on her YouTube page for basic setup of the add-on. Intermediate users should check out Reckles on Wanna Buy Gold, and advanced users should join the WoW Economy Discord and speak to Gumdrops. He is the public spokesman for the TSM team, and the rest of the gold making community over there is super helpful as well. Now go out there and keep making that gold.
Does he answer pretty quick if you send him a message?
Oh, he's on almost all the time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think JobUui said something about that he was always talking to him. So
yeah, Gumdrops is super knowledgeable, and honestly, he's streaming probably 4 to 6 hours on Twitch as well, just auction house stuff, making gold.
Wow, unbelievable. All right, next up, our tank and address.
What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking in a dress? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking in a dress?
This week's Come At Me a Tanking Minute, going through some more tanking 101s. Today we're talking about raid or situational awareness. So there's a few basic questions you really have to know to be effective in a raid, especially when you're tanking. If you're the kind of person who tunnel visions and goes, okay, here's my keyboard, here's the keys I have to mash, and there's the boss in front of me, and that's all you're doing, that's kind of tunnel visioning. So what you need to be able to do is answer some of these following questions to be able to be really effective. First, where are you? As a tank, that might seem a little strange, but you're in a 3D environment and so forth, and all the smart answers I can imagine hearing right now. But well, what I mean by the where are you is in terms of the arena, the layout, the place where the boss fight's happening, or in a raid, as you're clearing trash. Where are you in the virtual space? How far could you run in any direction before you pull some mobs, or fall off a platform, or stand and fire? So at any time, you should be able to know where you are and how far it is to all these other things in the encounter that might in some way affect you. So next question would be, of course, is where's everyone else? So are they close? Are they far away? Basic hint, if your healers are a long way away, you're in trouble because you always have to make sure they're within range. They'll run to try to help you all the time, but you can't get too much distance from them. Same thing being, you need to know where the melee are, where the range are, because sometimes in fights you can create situations that are cause all kinds of damage for those people if you're moving the boss in the wrong direction or pointing them in the wrong direction. Of course, the other question is, what's coming next? So will there be ads coming from a certain direction? Will there be a new mechanic coming up? You need to be not only in that moment that you're in a fight, but you have to be thinking, what's coming next? What's the next thing that's going to be happening? And in response to that, what's your next move going to be? The best tanks I've ever known are in a spot, and they're not just sort of reacting, they're always anticipating. So at about 5 seconds, what's the next thing coming? In 10 seconds, what's the next thing coming? And therefore, where should they be? Where should they move? And how are they setting up for it? The great thing I love about new content, of course, is all these rules change. You got to start figuring out a whole new environment. But if you've practiced doing this kind of situational awareness, and you're doing this on an ongoing basis, each new encounter, you've got that much deeper skill set to be able to bring to that next series of encounters. So basic to this, of course, is that you have to be able to use your camera angles. You got to be able to be looking around all the time, being aware of, to be aware of where you are. So if you haven't done it, it's a left click with the mouse, you move your screen around, you'll find the whole camera angle changes. Some people get confused or thrown off by this. You've got to understand that when you're doing that, you are the center of that universe. The camera is rotating around you, and it's changing everything that you see, but you're always going to be in that center. As soon as you walk, it'll straighten out. Move forward, it'll straighten out the camera angle. If you really get stuck, or backwards, of course, if you've got a boss in front of you sometimes. But you've got to be used to moving that camera around, looking up and down, changing your angle, maybe zooming in and out if you've got an option to do that. So you really get a sense of where you are in your virtual space. So you know what to do, how to react, where everybody is. Definitely now is the time to practice. If you haven't done it a lot, practice like crazy, because new content is coming. And that's Come At Me, a Tanking Minute.
And next up,
Sometimes it's hard to play my monk in raids. I'll go ahead and play her anyway. Forget the trees and grow a pair of fists. It's hard out here for me.
In this week's Ants Misting into Healing. This week during raid, I didn't actually have to heal. I had the ability DPS. I came to the realization that I love healing. I felt myself getting really bored and also very frustrated that I was unable to do DPS despite having good gear. Healing takes a lot of concentration and dedication to master it. You have to know everything that is going on around you, healing the tanks, the DPS, and yourself. You have to do this while doing the mechanics of the fight, which is also very hard to do. Healing doesn't come easy. As a monk, I didn't have it easy. Despite knowing what I am doing on my monk, I still have trouble with other healing classes. I have made it my goal to learn every healer spec and master it so that I am not only versatile, but well versed in healing. This is so that I am able to talk about all the other healers. It takes time to master your healing, and you can't do it overnight. Take your time, learn it, and most of all, practice. So when learning a new class, do your research, but don't always do it in the exact way that they want you to do it. It doesn't always work with your playstyle. Do what's best for you. My recommendation to you is heal the way you want to heal and play the way you want to play.
All right, but I have to say that Stafford, though, can do it overnight. I did it just, I just picked right up on it. Everybody says my...
Hold on a second.
What?
I love that reality you live in. It must be wonderful to be in your head.
It is.
I think so. I was going to say, you have to be alive to heal.
Well, the point that you made about healing yourself, that's a good point. Yes, I do agree with that one. That was a lot of the reasons why I died.
It's not easy, I'm telling you.
No, I agree. All right, next up we have... It's WFN News, Warcraft Stafford News. The Neither Disruptor is up next at the Broken Shores with Reinforced Rains and Epic Hunter. Weekly event is the bonus quest event. Yay!
Yay.
Go out and get your 20 quests done. WoW tokens are at 209, down from 212 last week in the States. And it's the Fireworks Spectacular. Every hour on the hour in a major city near you, and Booty Bay also. On the 4th and 5th, they will do a fireworks show. The Dark Moon Fair and Sunday, so don't forget to go out there and ride your rides and get your tickets so you can get your mount, right, Lorelei?
Yes, I'm working on it.
And do your stuff to get the thing.
Oh, I got to do it every day, every single day.
Do you do it on more than one tune or just a one tune?
Right now, I like today. I get everybody done with their professions and all of that, but I just focus on Lorelei. She's going to be the one. She had the most tokens because I was stupid. I started spending them, and I almost had to start over again.
Oh, yeah, not a good
Otherwise,
thing.
I'd have had it already.
All right, guys, we reached our time. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks all the fans for listening. I want to thank Charm for all of her beautiful music. Please go visit her website and YouTube channel. Links are in the description below. Plus BenSound at bensound.com, but we don't use his music right now because Tobui's not here. And Vincent Moretto with the heavy metal tavern music at the beginning. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you all next week.
See ya.
See you.
See ya.
See you later.
I kissed an orc and I liked it. The taste of his Bulgur chapstick. I kissed an orc just to try it. I hope my allied friends don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Don't meet up in love tonight.
I can't bring up my tools. It won't shut off.
I'm getting nervous.
Nobody talk.
You can't get your tool up.
Uh-huh.